Jay here for Stretford Paddock, that's Adam McCullough, that's Joe Smith. Hi. This is the live review of Manchester United winning the Snapdragon Cup 5-4 on penalties, 1-1 after normal time. Get involved in the chat and the comments and let us know what you think. We're not just going to review the game, which was okay. We're going to talk a little bit about pre-season because it's finished now. We've been there on the tour as well, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So make sure you're getting involved and let us know your thoughts. Joseph, I'll start with you.
Hello.
Just from today's point of view, I mean, me and you were chatting off camera then, and it felt a little bit like the players know we're almost at the start of the season, so whilst we all, we want to win and all the rest of it, it's not like let's go hell for leather here. It did feel like a friendly.
I like to think they were saving an extra gear, not that they don't have one. Because it was, like you said, there was times when I thought you could maybe push a little bit harder, times when I think we could have played the ball more quickly, got through the thirds a little bit more quickly. But generally speaking, I think we did okay. I think we, again, struggled to make chances. It was obvious that we didn't have a number 9 playing. I was a little bit surprised Hojlund wasn't playing, even though he's not a top-class number 9 by any means. I thought just in order to get the team playing around a number 9 for when Sesko gets here, get them used to that kind of shape, I thought they might do that. It tells me that maybe Sesko won't start that first game against Arsenal.
Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked to see him, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't either, because he's not played any minutes with his teammates yet, and maybe Amorim's trying to find solutions there. But just on today's performance, I think it was okay. I thought we were the better team overall, but like I said, I do hope there's another gear that we were saving almost for Arsenal, because otherwise it wasn't electric, was it?
No. Mako, your thoughts?
Just to touch on the Hojlund thing, look, I think his time's clearly up at Manchester United, and I think it was the right decision to not involve him today. I know from Joe's kind of perspective of the team and playing the system that we're going to play against Arsenal and all that kind of thing, and maybe he's right, we were looking at an alternative to that, but to risk him in a week where it looks like he's going to leave, and we know how important outgoings are to any more incomings as well, I think it would have been crazy to risk him today.
Okay.
Because if he does even a little hamstring pull, not even a tear, it's like he can't complete a medical, or someone might not want to, or if there was someone that's going to come out and give us a permanent transfer for him, all of a sudden that now becomes a loan because it's easy to pass a medical, and it just becomes a mess, I think. So I think that was the right decision. I agree in the sense that it looked like a bunch of players that had their eyes on next week. But also, I thought there were loads of positives as well. I think positives in the sense that when you looked at, and again, there's still a lot of work to go into it. There were still moments where you think, and Mbumo's normally a bit greedier there, probably shows outside and has a shot. Cunha's probably a bit more greedy there and doesn't go to overhit that pass. And obviously, everyone's new teammates at the moment, trying to impress each other, trying to create link-ups, they're trying to create connections. But I do think Bruno, Ahmad and Mbumo, Cunha, there was a little bit of something going on there. You add a striker into that mix as well, which then pegs defenders back a little bit more, gives them a little bit more space. Or even a Joshua Zirkzee type figure in that 9 who can hold the ball up and bring those others into play. I know he's not fit at the moment. I think that would potentially work, and I did like what I was seeing from them. I don't think Matheus Cunha was particularly good throughout the game today, but then there was moments where he just comes alive in and around the box. He had a great shot which just went wide, and there's a few other instances like that. But you can tell they're all just kind of trying to get used to each other and trying to feel each other out. Does he prefer it just a little bit behind him? Does he prefer the passage just a little bit ahead of him? They got to get to know all those things. But generally speaking, I'm a lot more confident with where we're going into this season now than I was before that Leeds game in Stockholm.
Yeah.
And I think it's been a good pre-season.
I agree. I'll get in some chat and I'll come back to you, Joe. Trinity Mentality, this trio comedy mint. Ross Murphy, Snapdragon winners of the world.
2 times in a row.
Japes says, I think it's a formation issue with the midfield. Need to have 2 centre midfielders, then Bruno as a 10. Ibrahim says, who do you want to be sold apart from the bomb squad? When we say the bomb squad, I think we talk about Anthony, Garnacho and Sancho, I think. The three Malacia, as well. But I mean, yeah, if you want to class him, I think to be fair, he is part of that. Who would you say? Is it Hojlund? Is he? I know you said you've advocated for keeping him as a backup.
Yeah, I just just to summarise it, I just think we need 2 strikers next summer.
Right.
Next season, sorry, isn't a striker.
I don't know. He can play there, but he's not, is he? Really? And
so do you think? So I've seen this. Sorry, Jay.
No, go on.
I've seen this kind of suggested that he could almost be the backup to Cunha or something like that, the left.
I think he's a backup that can do any of those jobs, but I don't think, like, if Sesko gets injured, then you have to play Xerxes up front. I just think it's such a drastic difference. I don't want to have to completely change the way we play just because someone gets injured.
Seeing that though today, where in the first half, I think it was, where Mount was almost like the striker.
Yeah.
Could Xerxes not do that? When you've got Cunha and Mbumo? Because I know Steve makes this point that he thinks you can alter it a little bit, where at times Xerxes is dropping deep, and Mbumo and Cunha, who have done that, can push on.
Yeah.
He says that might work as a front three, as an alternative to Sesko. Did you not fancy that?
I think a couple of things. I think firstly, I don't think it worked particularly well.
Okay.
I do think it would work slightly better with Xerxes for sure. But the other thing is, I don't want to have to do that. That's what I mean. Right. I don't want that our only option is that. Yeah. I wouldn't mind an alternative. You don't want two of the same player up front, but you don't want two completely opposite players to the point where your play style has to radically change every time you make a sub. Because every time Sesko comes off the pitch, if Xerxes is the only other option, or Mbumo or Mount up front is the only option, we've got to radically change how we play, which you don't want to have to do. Or B,
I'd say you don't think Cheeto's ready as well, yeah?
No, right. I don't. I just don't think he is. No. I don't think he should have to be either. It's that same case of don't make him like that's. I mean, if Sesko is injured, what Cheeto's going to play 12 games in a row?
No, I think he'll get minutes. I don't think he can play 12 games in a row, whatever. So you think we need to buy another striker then?
Yeah,
as all we all think,
if it's just a little backup.
I like the idea of Xerxes in that position, because it changes it as well. I think there'll be certain teams where you need someone that's a striker that's constantly going to be at the last defender. Yeah. But then him dropping as well creates so many problems because Mbumo can go, Cunha can go, and Bruno can go as well. And also we did see today, it's why I keep suggesting Bruno almost has to be a part of that front three. Maybe, of course, there's going to be games where he drops deeper and plays deeper, but if you've got him in that rotation, sometimes Mbumo can go through the middle. Bruno can play out wide, and I think you need that. There's going to be times in games, like the team you start with is never the team you end a game with, right? And there's going to be times in games where that's how we end it. Bruno's up top, and I think there's nothing wrong with trying to do that, because ultimately Bruno's position in his team at the moment is a bit weird. If we had the midfielders we wanted, he's not in that midfield too. And if the new three players are starting, where is he?
Well, to be honest, if push came to shove, I'd play him over either Cunha or Mbumo. I think he's a better player than either of them. Obviously, you want to be able to play all of them, but I think if we did have the perfect midfield, I'd start Bruno over Cunha. Do you know what I mean? And
who would be the perfect midfield?
I mean,
if we got Baleba, I take it, you mean?
Yeah, well, Baleba but I think if we'd got Baleba, then it would be Bruno next.
I agree. That's what I mean. I think Bruno starts in that midfield.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think those two are 100% ideal. If you were picking just any two players from anywhere in the world, I think it would be
Kobe and Baleba,
Bruno further forward.
Who would be the best partnership?
I think Bruno could adapt his game. I think he could play alongside of Baleba. Yeah. I think that front three will be Sesko, Cunha and Mbumo. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. We can't sign Baleba, but I think a midfield of Baleba and Bruno is fucking mint.
I agree.
I do. Especially with that front three in front of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty amazing five. We'll get into that in a minute anyway. I want to get into some chats.
Yes.
Neil Wolf, welcome to the Academy as a member. Navanesh says, swap Hojlund in the Snapdragon Cup for Baleba, in my opinion. Suben says, those and Mbumo crosses will be crucial for Sesko. Our mate and yours, Laurie Whitwell, tweeted 14 minutes ago, Manchester United finished pre-season unbeaten. Decent performance versus Fiorentina, aside from slap marking for their goal, but clearly some connections to establish and focal point needed, aka Benjamin Sesko. This is the interesting one. Rasmus Hojlund staying on the bench shows club's intentions. So Laurie's been saying this for a little while. I think he said about a month ago that he thought it's more likely that Hojlund would go rather than stay, and that was before we bought Benjamin Sesko. So it definitely feels like that is the case.
Because Hojlund's never been an issue. He's been an issue on the pitch that we have to resolve, and we've had to kind of, is he good enough, is he not good enough? But he's never been an issue in terms of attitude and things like that. And I think he's easier to keep, like he's someone that would, the reports are, would rather stay at Manchester United. So that tells you he wants to be here. And obviously, some of us don't want him here anymore, some of us do. But I think that says a lot about him, that you can keep him in the squad and he won't cause it's obvious. What does that say about Sancho? What does that say about Anthony, Rashford? They were obviously
he's not kicking off, is he?
No, he's not, to be fair to him. CTB says a proper number 6 would free Bruno to dart around like the beast he is. A lot of debate going on about what would be our best midfield. Clipped by Cran says Ugarte, Baleba. Someone else says... Ian says, as long as Kobe is getting game time, he doesn't need to be starting every week at his age. He is still learning. That's a great point, that. Serge Issa says, Baleba and Mainu would be a monster midfield. MD says, we need Hojlund for backup unless we're going to buy another striker. I think you've both said that, haven't we? Or you both said that we need another striker. And you'd be happy with was it you that said Dominic Calvert-Lewin, was it?
A type of...
Yeah, like a backup, 10 games a season,
only if he's free and he wants
experience
20
for
bags a
now.
week.
Yeah, go on.
Ruben Amorim, speaking to MUTV, has said, at times we, just on the Hojlund thing, at times we struggled without the reference of a striker. We have a new striker now. That's damning, isn't it?
A little bit.
It is very much.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still here.
Oh shit, he's stood behind me, isn't he? That's what someone that stood right behind me. It's gonna be one, yeah, that is
say
like
a new striker.
Well, it's
I
think it could just be an accident. Like, it's just...
there's a question here for you, Joe. CTB says, Joe, how about Vardy?
No.
Nah. He's also, there's many reasons why no. First of all, we are all Colleen Rooney.
Yep.
And we don't want his grass of a wife anywhere near Old Trafford.
Okay, I agree
we
with
just
that.
got rid of all the leaks, and you want to fucking get the Son's prize mole on the case. Secondly, it's Jamie Vardy. He's an absolute scumbag. Have you not seen some of the things he's said and done in the past?
Checkered history.
We're fucking Manchester United.
Also, with Vardy.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin, thank you very much.
Yeah, with Vardy.
None of this Jamie Vardy nonsense.
Number 9, where's Nick?
None of this top 11
Dixie Dean didn't do
goal
it.
scorers of all time.
Andy Gray didn't do it.
Duncan Ferguson didn't do it. That's the best clip ever. Jason Nolan says, fully fit Mason Mount is as good as the 2 number 10s we've brought in, and Bruno is a better 10 than any of them. Very strange transfer window. I don't think that is the case. I think we'd have all been losing our minds if after scoring 44 Premier League goals last season, we didn't address the entire attack. To be honest with you, it all needed fixing.
I also...
Go on.
Sorry,
go on.
Just
please do.
I've seen some people on Twitter kind of lamenting the fact we haven't got a midfielder and stuff. How nice is it to
Ronaldo
be here
Brown's
where
one
we've
of them,
all
to be
gone,
fair.
oh, we need a midfielder so bad, otherwise this season's rough. A week ago, we didn't think we were getting a striker. Yeah. We didn't think we were getting a midfielder. We didn't think we were getting a goalkeeper. Now, all of a sudden, we know there's that Baleba-shaped carrot out there that could potentially swoop it into our mouths.
What's it taste like? Success.
21 is coming.
Yeah.
But that is the thing, though. People get so accustomed to their circumstances so quickly.
Yeah.
Like you said, no one thought we were going to get Cunha and Mbeumo. Just to start with, we
Not
thought
to
we'd get
start
one,
with,
and we might get.
I'll be honest with you.
However, and then we thought Sesko's probably going to go to Arsenal. That's done, and then we've got Sesko, and then now, like you said, we've basically got central midfield, and then probably a goalkeeper after that.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're sort of fixing things that aren't really broke. Like we're only 2 positions away from having a team where you think, yes, you can improve the right wing back situation. There are better centre backs in the world than the 3 we have, but you kind of like. They are the only 2 glaring problems left at Man United. 2. Because we've so sort of accurately pinpointed those 3 areas. If we'd assigned Mbeumo and Cunha and then we just got a backup striker and we went into the season with Hojlund, that wouldn't have surprised me. I wish we'd have done more, but I wouldn't have been shocked. Like it is a great position that we're in, where we're literally after the midfielder we all want, which is mental to start with. We genuinely are trying to get Carlos Baleba.
And his full attention on that now. Sesko's done.
We're up for it.
He's in the room.
And, we're sort of going, if we only get the midfielder. We literally might. We're actually trying to right now, and it seems like if we sell a couple of players, we can.
I think we're
It's mad.
Hands, it's weird to feel that.
Yeah, it is. People mentioning the fact that Baleba was left out of the Brighton squad today. A couple of people have mentioned that in the chat.
It's fucking happening, man.
I'm worried. I'm feeling,
we'll put
I feel like he's already here.
We'll
I'm getting that Mbeumo feeling where you start counting him in your 11s.
Carlos Baleba to Man United. Here we go. This is Stretford Paddock. I'm Adam McCullough. We're here to just announce to you, Carlos Baleba is now a Manchester United player. You're going to help me fill this 8 minutes in there?
No.
We've got the intro to the vid.
We'll use that in 2 weeks when he signs on deadline day.
Just before we wrap up, give us your thoughts, Macca, on pre-season as a whole. We've seen it all now. We've won a lot. Man United, we're never going to stop. What have you made of it?
Look, just take away the results. I've been impressed with how things look like they're getting more cohesive on and off the pitch. On the pitch, it feels like we're moving in the right direction. Players are here for the right reason. It feels like we're getting the right players in, maybe not taking as quickly as we would like it to, but like Joel just mentioned there, everything seems to be ahead of where we should be right now, especially because of how pessimistic we kind of approach this transfer window. I think it's been the best pre-season since Fergie left. I just think on and off the pitch it's been the best. You haven't got Ed Woodward going, fucking hell, I'm leaving Australia and disappearing for a bit. By the way, I watched our Uncensored back the other day. It's fucking good, man. I watched all of it. I've been missing you too. I don't think you've noticed. I watched your live video and then I watched our Uncensored back. Our Uncensored was good. That's why I came here today. Like, shall we do another Uncensored? I was like, I was well on it.
We're doing what
but yeah, like, I feel like it's just been the best pre-season. Not because we always have a great time. We always get giddy on pre-season, all that kind of stuff. But I just feel like it's been very good preparations for the new season ahead. You're opening a new Carrington, which, okay, it should have been there 10 years ago, but it's here now.
That's a good point now.
All the players are feeling much better in their working environment. There's no stragglers, as Luke Shaw would say. The players that we want to get out, they're seemingly on the way. And even the players that, like Rasmus Hojlund, he does the old Victor Lindelof and he's still here in 5 years normally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now he's, see you later. So I think it's been the best. We've still got a lot of work to do, but it's been the best pre-season of the last 10 years.
Joe, do you agree with that? Do you think it has? Mark has mentioned there.
It sounds mad to say that.
No, but no, it's not.
Because they've been not very good.
No, let's be honest. There is. I mean, let's not forget we've had pre-season where we bought Cristiano Ronaldo at the end of the pre-season. I could argue. Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho. We've had the Mkhitaryan, Pogba, Zlatan, Summer. We have had big summers at Manchester United. Even last summer we spent quite a lot of money and brought a few players in. Do you think this is up there or better than those ones?
Well, you've kind of accidentally made the point I was going to make there when you said no. It's good because you said about it wasn't really pre-season. Like so often, the players we sign are brought in after game week 1, game week 2. Yeah. We've lost a game. We still did this
reaction. Like, 8 million on Andy, quick.
So I was looking like Ugarte. Obviously, Ronaldo was near the end. You go through some United, and I always search Man United sign whoever, and you find the BBC article from the time. So many of them, 29th of August, 30th of August, 27th of August, 30th of August.
Us three on deadline day usually. Was that time we're in? It was Pelestri, and he thought it was Sanchez.
I think deadline day could be good for us.
And you think this summer we had our 2 crucial biggest signings. Maybe it won't be the biggest signing in terms of fee, but in terms of like, let's get these done. Premier League proven, can immediately improve the team, almost certainly. We're done before we went on tour. That is such a departure from recent seasons.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that we didn't lose a game, bit of optimism on the pitch, some couple of really good performances in there as well. Like Adam said, all these sort of bits of momentum off the pitch as well. We haven't really had that. And I think for that reason, it's been a really excellent pre-season. Yeah. And obviously, pre-season isn't the end of the window, but if we can then add another midfielder somehow or a goalkeeper somehow, then you're looking at as good a possible platform for a season as you could expect from where we were last year.
Also, when you look at what we are now, it's not like our pre-season's over, this is us for the season. We're going to keep improving. I'm confident of that. Because him being on the training pitch, our new fresh training ground, him being on that pitch though with these players every day. Like, we spoke about it again on that Uncensored where we were talking about how Europa League and doing those midweeks and then fixture congestion later and it gets added to the end and you've hardly got a week spare to where you can train and it's all rest days and travel days and this, that and the other. It's going to be, right, Saturday your game, Sunday you rest, Monday we're back in training. And that's the week we're preparing for Saturday now again. And I think the manager's going to fucking love that.
Yeah, I do.
It's going to be like pre-season still going.
100%. Maka, do you want to do your outro for your Belabor? Here we go. Go on. See us out.
Yes, Belabor has joined Manchester United. He's going to be wearing the 21 shirt, which means 21 is coming. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Keep it locked to Stretford Paddock. If any more transfer business goes down throughout this window, we will be back to cover it all right here. Yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Mackie. That's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, share and subscribe. That's been Adam McCall. That's been John Smith. I'm Jay Motti.